My name is Avi Eyal. I'm the co-founder and managing partner of Entrée Capital. We're a venture capital firm. I'm based in Tel Aviv, and we have offices in London, Tel Aviv, and New York. We're not first-time investors. We've been doing this for many years, and I think that our own personal experiences have given us a certain view of the world and a view of how we would like to run our businesses, and we try to impart that knowledge to the founders and those that we work together with, and we hope that makes a difference to them. My background is I came from a lower middle class family. I had to pay my way through college and before. I started my first business when I went to university and studied engineering, and I used that to pay my way through university. And I think that's kind of the background that I've had and the way that I've worked, and always been hungry. And I think that's what we try to do at Entrée. When we meet founders, we don't believe in a pitch. We believe in a process. And getting to know each other. We look towards people that we want to be comfortable working with over a longer period of time. And again, we prefer directness. We prefer folks that have a interesting story, with things where they've overcome a certain hardship, or they've worked their way into a position or to a solution and to an opportunity. We feel that our biggest successes are the businesses that we've been in the longest. And so it's a marriage that one needs to work at. And so a lot of the meetings and the way the founders answer the questions and the level of honesty and thoughtfulness they put into it will get us to a fair amount of comfort. 20 years ago, when I was raising money for my companies, it was a very old school approach, very investment banking type driven. A decade ago, when we started Entrée Capital, it was driven by an understanding of the technology in depth and what could be, imagination and things like that, but still very much tied to that investment traditional way of evaluating companies and understanding them. And I feel that in the last couple of years, the pendulum has swung probably a bit too far into the imagination and into the every business is a unicorn, every business can be huge. And I think that folks with less experience came into the market, and I think it betrayed some of the fundamentals that existed 10 or 20 years ago. And in the last year or two, I think a lot of that's returned. And it is a generalization, and there were firms on both sides, both extremes of this argument. But I think that what we'll see is fewer venture firms over the next 10 years, with a lot more due diligence and a lot more expectation of financial and other business-driven metrics at an earlier stage. I think October 7th was a tragedy, literally a genocide, and in many respects a wake-up call, not just for Israel but for the rest of the world. As regards our fund specifically, I'm extremely grateful for the people that we have around us who stepped up above and beyond. Some people were drafted, some folks undertook unbelievable volunteer projects. We've all worked double hours to help our portfolio, to deal with where there's been tragedy, to deal with those folks who've been affected. And I think we've all contributed and feel like even though we've done a lot, like everyone else, everyone feels they should do more. By and large, I think it's a small event in the next 5 decades of of companies and investing and everything else, but I think it's been a big wake-up call, and I think it's mobilized and brought Israel as a ecosystem, and by and large Israel as a country back together again, about in conversation of its values and what they want, what the country needs. Thank you for including me in the list a number of times now, and it's a nice reward for our firm to know that the work that we all do together results in some recognition, and we feel that it's an opportunity that certainly in this year and at this time that Israel is on the map, and that as a venture firm which is rooted in Israel, we can do and do continue to do business both in Israel and outside Israel, and that even in the darkest times there's a ray of light, and hopefully we can take this as a signal to other firms and to other founders to say there's a value system and there's a certain way of doing things, and hopefully that will get us our fair share of success.